like that. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, LettucePreey. I hope you're having a blessed and a prosperous day. I am back with Falcon Therapy. I'm here with a special guest, man. I call him my brother from another mother, my brother in Christ, Rev Trev NFL. Holla at the people, Rev Trev NFL.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on, LettucePreey. I am pumped about the playoffs. Cannot wait. Wildcard Weekend. They don't call it wild for nothing, brother. You got to tune in, and we're gonna see some great ball, and it's gonna be a great weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you being here, man. I know we both have busy schedules, but we just had to make this happen. I think is this our third edition?
It might be, man.
This is. I mean, this is becoming a little bit of an annual thing for us. So.
I love it.
Let's dive into it, man. So what we're going to do, you guys, we're going to dive into these playoff matchups. And if you see the title, actually, let me back up. Rev Trev NFL, he has some great content. Please go to his channel and subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of content. He has a football page, as you can tell. He's a Packers fan. He has a hockey page. What's your team, Rev Trev, in hockey?
Vancouver Canucks.
Vancouver Canucks. All right. You can catch him on X. You can catch him on Facebook. You can catch him on all the social media platforms. I got all that in the description for you. So please go and subscribe to his page. All right. All right. Let's get it going. We're going to talk about these contenders and these pretenders. We're going to go through each matchup this weekend. Wild card weekend, non-stop football from Saturday morning to Monday evening. All right,
crazy.
Got a full slate of games. You ready to get going?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, we're going to start it off with the AFC matchup. We're going to start it off with the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Houston Texans. I did a little, I did some research here, and then I'll let you have the floor. Chargers are 11-6.
So wait, you have that banner that you made?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Make sure that goes up, so all our people come in late, they'll see it.
That's why you need a good friend, guys, because he's here to remind.
There we go,
boy. He's here to remind you, boy. Chargers versus Texans, man. You got the Texans at home. They did win the AFC South. Okay. Texans 10-7 record. They are number 6 in defense. Okay. Only giving up 315 yards per game. 42 touchdowns given up by that defense. Offense, on the other hand, is another story. 22nd ranked offense in the league. 319.7 yards per game and 38 touchdowns. They're going to be going up against the Los Angeles Chargers, coached by Jim Harbaugh himself. 11-6, 11th ranked defense, giving up 324 yards per game and only 31 touchdowns. They're actually one of the top ranked red zone defenses in the league. I believe they are number 1. Only giving up 45% scores to other teams when they get in the red zone. I think this is a really good matchup. Rev Trev, what do you think about this matchup?
I love this matchup. It's now a lot of people are saying that this is the weak one because the Texans really don't deserve to be here because of they're in a weak division, but they still are loaded with talent and they're at home, so that does help. Also, on the other side of the thing, what's wild is Wild Card Weekend has, and actually wild about the NFL playoffs. There's two divisions that have three teams from those divisions. The Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos all made the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Are you kidding me? That like, first of all, any of these teams except for the Chiefs, that's kind of normal. But the Chiefs are just like, it's like you just slot them in, they're going to make the playoffs, right?
That's right.
But so you got these teams, so it's crazy, and the other one's NFC North. So
right.
This is really cool, and it's been a while since the Chargers have been in the playoffs. Texans were there last year, were one and done, right? And so yeah, I'm loving it. I don't know if you want me to get into my prediction for this, but there's a little stat you're gonna love. In the NFL this season, the fewest points allowed in the NFL. Okay, fewest points. Number one team, the Los Angeles Chargers.
That's right.
301. Nobody else had less points allowed than the Chargers. The Eagles were 303, so they're right there. Like, they're basically neck and neck.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm just saying I'm going with the Chargers, not only because of Justin Herbert, but I'm going with the Chargers because of their defense. It's for real. It's for real.
That's right. You heard it here. Number one scoring defense in the league.
No, lowest scoring defense, right? So one, the fewest points allowed.
Yes.
The fewest points allowed.
Yeah, number one against opposing scores.
Yeah, that's right.
Giving up the fewest amount of points in the league. Number one.
In the NFL, man.
All right.
And here's the other wild part about that. So I don't mean to steal this here, but this is important. Chargers are number one, and basically 1A, 1B is the Eagles. Number three on that list, or what would be three, Denver, and then number four is literally the Chiefs.
There it is.
So if you think about that, that is so wild that there's three great defenses from this division.
Is it really wild though? Because they say defense wins championships. True,
but only one team's going to win a championship. So there's only one defense going to win a championship. But yes, it is very important, is what you're saying. I agree with you. I'm with you. But I was not expecting. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm not expecting in the top three of them being from the AFC West.
I absolutely agree. Going into this season, I don't think anybody predicted that. What you got? I mean, okay, let me not get ahead of myself. I don't think anybody picked the Broncos and the Chargers to make the playoffs. However, you got Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, good point. Coaching matters.
In the same division. That is ridiculous. That's like a Mount Rushmore of the 2010s, 2020s of best coaches in the NFL. In the same division. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. So, no, I'm inclined to agree with you. I think the Chargers will get this one. Like you said, they got the defense. Definitely have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert, and they have their top running back. He's back from injury, J.K. Dobbins. That team did not look the same when J.K. Dobbins went out with the knee injury for a couple games.
Good point.
This will be like his second or third game back since his injury, and I think he will make a big impact against the Texans. So, yeah, I got the Chargers in that one. We got the Chargers. We're in agreement, brother.
We already have upset Central. We haven't only started one. Okay, perfect.
There it is. All right, next game. Let me get my banner. Next game. Steelers versus the Ravens. This is one of those divisional matchups. These two teams hate each other.
Right?
If you haven't seen Hard Knocks, you need to go watch Hard Knocks. They're doing an in-season version of Hard Knocks on HBO Max. It is a great watch. And you hear about the disdain and the just pure, unadulterated hatred that these two teams have for each other. Now, let's get into some stats. Man. Steelers versus the Ravens. This will actually be the third time these teams meet. As I said, they're division rivals, so they've already played twice, and they split them. It's 1-1. Steelers won that first game, and Ravens won that second game. But the Steelers come in as the 12th ranked defense, all right? They've given up 39 touchdowns and 326 yards per game. But they kind of limp in on offense. You know, they haven't been looking good this last month of the season. I don't know what's going on with Arthur Smith and that offense in Steeler country, but they dropped all the way down to the 23rd ranked offense in the league. 37 touchdowns, 319 yards per game. Now we got the Ravens on the other hand. MVP candidate, LaMarvelous. That's what I call him. I don't even call him by his last name anymore. He's LaMarvelous. 12-5 record. Number 10 defense in the league. Only giving up 324 yards a game and 39 touchdowns. And then number 1 ranked offense. It's all clicking for Lamar Jackson. 424.9 yards per game and 65 whopping touchdowns. Obviously, Lamar doesn't do it by himself. He got a great toy in the offseason, King Henry himself. What do you think about this matchup, Rev Trev?
Yeah, this one's a real difficult one. And I think a lot of people, I'm just looking at some ESPN stats and just like fans, there's like 70-something% of people picking the Ravens. And I'm trying to think like why, because they're both 10-5. Like that's crazy to me that they're both got the identical thing. They've got the tiebreaker, so they get the home advantage. But I think it's because the last time they played each other, Baltimore won 34-17, just blew them out. Now, so I'm just sitting there and going, that is why people are giving the edge to the Ravens. But I'm just sitting here going, I can see a scenario where the Steelers win this game. I know. I mean, people don't believe in Russ Wilson, but I get the fact that he's a massive upgrade to any quarterback they've had in the last 5 years. So I'm just saying, like, he could be good enough. And we know they have a run game. We know, like, all those things. I just look at this Ravens offense, and I'm like, man, with King Henry, with Lamar. And the one is, I think Flowers is out, right? I think that he's.
Oh, you stole my thunder. I was just going to say it at the end.
I'm sorry. So
you're right.
So that is the one where I'm nervous, but I'm looking at, when I look at the Steelers, I like Pickens a lot, of course. I think he's playing. I don't think that injuries lagged him. Yeah. But who else do they have? And whereas like Flowers, like if there's no Flowers, I know it matters. Don't get me wrong. It's not, but you like, even with Bateman and some of those guys, but it's like Andrews and Likely.
There we go.
So I'm thinking likely that it's going to be the Ravens that come out top on this. They're just too good. They're at home. I'm picking the Ravens, and it's no upset here. All my Steeler fans are angry with me right now.
Y'all didn't catch that. He said it's likely, as in Isaiah Likely. I love it. You know what? We didn't plan this, guys, but I agree.
Well, we got a 50-50 shot of agreeing on every one.
I'm taking the Ravens over these Steelers, man. I like the way the Ravens had finished the season. I don't like when the team is limping into the playoffs, regardless of the record. Steelers look like they could have won that division coming into December. They look like they were going to win that division. And they I think they went 1-4, 1-3 their last 4 games. So I traditionally, I will never choose a team who limps into the playoffs to win in the first round. Okay. I just can't do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. And then we think about the offensive weapons, as you said. If George Pickens isn't doing it, who's doing it?
Right.
Mike Williams? Are they depending on Mike Williams out there? I know Najee Harris. He's a good back. Don't get me wrong, but he's no King Henry. I'm taking LaMarvelous, and I think Lamar Jackson's favorite target, regardless of if Zay Flowers is there, is Mark Andrews, and will always be Mark Andrews. He knows how to find Mark Andrews when it matters, and I think the Ravens win this game. All right. We're moving on to the next one.
So we picked 2 for 2 together?
2 for 2, brother. You know what I'm saying? 2 for 2. Let's see. Let's see if we still there on this one. I don't know. Broncos versus the Bills. A little background on the Broncos and Bills. Denver Broncos, pretty stout defense this season, man. I think that's definitely their calling card this year. Number 7 ranked defense in the league, only giving up 317 yards per game. They're the 3rd ranked red zone defense. 3rd ranked red zone defense, only giving up scores 46.9% of the time. Then you got the Buffalo Bills. When you think of the Buffalo Bills, who do you think of?
One name and one name only. Mr. Josh, most likely MVP Allen. It's probably going Lamar, but I don't know. I'm thinking Josh Allen. He is unbelievable. He's a gunslinger. He gets it done. I don't know. What do you think about this matchup, my friend?
I'm thinking, can Denver shut down? Do they have kryptonite for Superman? That's what they call him, right? They call him Superman now. Do they have the kryptonite for Superman?
Wouldn't it be awesome? Like, okay, if I was in charge of marketing, I would get the gold chains or whatever the chains.
Yeah,
I would get the orange chains, and I would literally have a piece of it looks like kryptonite, and it's got like Josh Allen on it.
Yes.
Or no, I put like Broncos. No, I put the Broncos logo on it and have like kryptonite.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And wouldn't that be awesome? Or wouldn't it? Yeah, I you would sell millions of things.
Come on,
we should do that right now.
Denver Broncos, you better hire this man for your marketing department. He can make you millionaires. He can make, well, you're already billionaires. So he can make a few extra million with that idea right there alone. This is one of the best defenses in the league. And I think they're an underrated team. I'm talking about the Broncos. They got a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix who has come out and surprised a lot of people this season. A lot of people thought the Broncos settled on Bo Nix because so many quarterbacks were drafted in the top 10 last year, in last year's draft. Defense wins championships. I'm going Broncos. I'm going shock the world. Broncos over the Bills. Broncos over the Bills.
You know what? I want to take the Broncos because of that defense, but I just think it doesn't matter what that defense does. Josh Allen scores points. Look at what he did to the Lions.
Decimated.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I can't go. I don't think that the Broncos are kryptonite. I think that they're just in the way. So I'm picking the Bills to beat the Broncos, but this is the one where I really want to pick an upset right now, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, he's the modern day version of Brett Favre, but better. You know what I mean? And that's saying something as a Packers fan.
Supercharged. He was definitely a supercharged version. Bigger, faster, stronger.
And Brett can Favre. Run like they just can't stop him from rushing. So I think James Cooks is really good. I think their wide receiver core is good enough.
Yes, sir.
They've got a good defense too. I don't know if it's great, but it's good enough. And so it's going to be interesting. So you and I are not agreeing on that one. All right, I like your boldness, though. I want you to know.
All right. So we're at 66.6% right now. 2 out of 3. That's not bad. It's not bad.
We both picked the Chargers. We both picked the Ravens.
Both picked the Ravens.
And then we are disagreeing here. Okay.
Yep. And then also we see we got some viewers here. Feel free to hit us up in the comments. We'll definitely interact with you guys. And then take some time to go to my buddy Rev Trev's page, please. Subscribe to his channel. And, you hit that like button in the chat so we can get some more people in here, all right? Let's move it on. We moving on now to the NFC.
My favorite conference.
We moving on to the NFC. I'm sorry. I hate to say it like this, but we gave y'all the appetizer. Now, this is the main course. All right. First game in the NFC. We're going to talk about the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. This is an intriguing matchup. All right. So we got the Commanders. I don't want to state the obvious. Let me get into the stat. They're 12-5. Okay. They got a pretty solid defense. 13 ranked in the league this season. Only giving up 326 yards per game, 45 touchdowns. But what people really think about when they think about the Washington Commanders is a young fella. He can't weigh more than 180 pounds, but he's quick as lightning, and he has a cannon for an arm. Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy winner a couple years ago.
Wow.
He's leading a 7th ranked offense. That offense is 7th ranked in the NFL. They were the worst team, one of the worst teams in the league last season. He has them in the playoffs, and he has that offense as the number 7th ranked offense in the league. That's phenomenal. 369 yards per game and 55 touchdowns. In the other corner, we got a team that benefited from the choke job the Atlanta Falcons did this season, giving up a 6-3 start and just fading down the stretch. This team just said, you know what, we're just going to stay the course. They stayed the course. They got a young man, which a lot of people gave up on in his career. He came to Tampa Bay, and he's led them to 10-7 record. Another division title. That's 2 years in a row for the Buccaneers. 3rd ranked offense in the league. 399 yards per game. 59 whopping touchdowns. And that defense is about middle of the road. 18 ranked defense, giving up 41 touchdowns, 341 yards per game. Rev Trev, speak on it.
I'm really excited that the Commanders are in the playoffs. It's been a hot minute, okay? This team has struggled for years and years. I mean, this fan base should be super excited, and I mean, they've got a shot to win this game. I'm there with you. I am there with you in the way, I'm excited about it. And they've got weapons. They've got weapons coming out of everywhere. So I don't think this is going to be an easy game either way. I just know that everyone's going to pick the Bucs because Baker Mayfield he's more than Baker's dozen. He makes things cook. And listen, Mike Evans is going to the Hall of Fame, and that's not even a stretch. That guy is unbelievable.
He's a true.
Bucky Irving is unreal. He literally has stolen the job from Rashid White, and he had a good year last year.
That's
The
right.
thing that I like about the Buccaneers a little bit more than the Commanders is that the Buccaneers have a good defense. And I think they're both solid. Don't get me wrong. I wish that this matchup was the Eagles versus the Commanders. But that would be way more interesting to me. But you got to play. You got to play. I'm going with the Bucs here. The Bucs stops. Like for Washington, the Bucs stops here, guys. The Bucs stops here, and the Buccaneers are going to win. I think the Buccaneers are going to win by 10. So,
all right. Ooh, Buccaneers by 10. Okay. Let's get to the chat real quick. We got Chemo up in here, man. Chemo says, "Ha ha, Baker's dozen." He loved that Baker's dozen.
I've got all the cheesy lines tonight.
And then we got Jake from State Farm. My guy, Jake from State Farm. The Bucs are going to be able to run on the Commanders. And then earlier we have Buck Crazy in here. He's kind of a regular. He said, "Go Bucks." I wonder who Buck Crazy is cheering for, right? With a name like Buck Crazy. I wonder what team he's going to be rooting for in this one. Let me just say this. Patty cake. Baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Roll it up. Okay, that's all I know. I'm taking
roll it and give it to the three-headed monsters or Mike Evans. Imagine if they had Godwin, dude.
Oh, man. They lost Chris Godwin for the season. That's what's crazy about this offense, man. They were even better. They were even better before. I'm taking the Bucs in this one. I think Jaden Daniels, just not quite his time yet. Just not quite his time yet.
It's something to be said that they've been here before, right?
Absolutely. Hungry team, veteran quarterback, veteran coach. Like you said, that defense, they can get stops when they need it. Bucky Irvin special. What is that? Rashad White. They got him in there. Mike Evans, that dude, as much as I don't like to watch him score touchdowns on the Falcons, you just can't deny his talent, man. That guy is a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm taking the Bucs in this one. Yeah, not more to say.
I'm with you.
Taking the Bucs in this one. All right, we got next matchup. Ooh. Vikings versus the Rams. This is a pretty intriguing matchup. Let me get to these stats real quick. Minnesota Vikings. You're talking about a change of fortune. A change of fortune. Let me get to my stats before I just get sidetracked. Defense, 335 yards per game. Okay. Giving up 37 touchdowns. That's middle of the pack, 16 ranked defense in the league, Minnesota Vikings. Offensive rankings, number 12 ranked offense, 346 yards per game, 47 touchdowns. Okay. Let me get back to what I was going to say. Sam Darnold is living the dream right now. Nobody expected this man not alone to be playing, but to be starting for a playoff team this season. It's like one of the best stories in football right now. Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold. He was a backup for the 49ers last year. They didn't want him, so he just got picked off the scrap heap. But then the Vikings seemingly, were unsure, so they draft J.J. McCarthy in last year's draft. And then what happens? J.J. McCarthy goes down. Can't play the whole season. Here are the keys, Sam Darnold. What are you going to do with them? All I'm going to do is lead my team to about 14 wins this season. And then you have the Rams. Hall of Fame quarterback, Matt Stafford. We got 2 number 1 receivers. 2. You got Puka. I'm not talking about Puka Shells. I'm talking about Puka Nacua. Then I'm talking about Cooper, the fantasy football legend. That's what he's known in my house because he won me a fantasy football league. And for the rest of his days in the NFL, he will be known as the fantasy football legend, Cooper Kupp. Kyron Williams, one of the best running backs in the league.
Yes.
This is a great matchup. The Rams have the home field advantage because they won the NFC West, but the Vikings have the better record. Rev Trev, speak on it.
I think it's going to come down to recency bias. So some people are going to pick the Rams, see that Jake is picking the Rams here. And I don't think that's a bad pick. I just think the Vikings are a lot better than people are saying.
This is a tough call.
I don't think it's a tough call. I think the Rams are going to get slaughtered at home.
Ooh.
I think the Vikings are going to come in there with their shields and their axes, and they are going to take those helmets and they're going to ram the Rams, and they're going to give them a spanking. I love Matthew Stafford. I think he's for real. I think he's a warrior. I just don't think they have the team that's surrounding. That defense is not good. And what's going to happen is that Vikings offense is mad because they lost to Detroit, and they're going to come in and they are going to win this game, and it's not going to be close. I would say plus 20. Plus 20.
Wow. A 20-point blowout.
Yes.
At home. A 20-point blowout at home. Okay. Let me get this because I seem to miss out on the Rams when I pulled up the defenses. The Rams defense is 26th ranked. Okay. There's only 32 rankings in the NFL. So they're near the bottom. 353 yards given up a game and 43 touchdowns given up by that Rams defense. Ooh. I'm torn. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I'm just going to say that. But my heart says Rams. My heart says Rams. But my mind says think logically. Got Justin Jefferson over there. You got Aaron Jones, who you know very well.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty good.
That guy's good. You got Brian Flores, one of the flourishing young defensive minds as their defensive coordinator. You know he's going to heat up Matt Stafford. He's going to be blitzing that guy all over the place. And Matt Stafford is not a very mobile guy. For that reason, I'm taking the Vikings. But, I might take the Vikings by 10. I don't know about 20, but I'm going to take the Vikings by 10.
I like it.
Yeah, we agree. We're taking the Vikings over the Rams. Sorry about that, Jake from State Farm, man. We have to go against you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Chemo was like, ooh, plus 20. Plus 20. Barry almost agrees with you. He says he got the Vikings by 17. Chemo says definitely the Vikes. Okay. We're all in agreement. All in agreement, all in unison. We're all on one accord. All right. And the final game. I don't even know if I should intro this game. I might just have to give the floor to the man with the G on his hat. Go ahead and take the floor, man.
Let me just educate a couple people here. This G right here, this big one,
he got one on his
it
wall.
doesn't actually stand for Green Bay. You know what it stands for? Greatness. It stands for greatness. And this team has overcome a lot of problems. Here's the problem with the great Green Bay Packers. We're young, we're injured, but we've got fight. And I'll tell you why this is going to be closer to everyone than you think. Everybody is going to pick the Eagles, and I'm talking about everybody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in fact, I'm just going. You know, there's those wild card previews. You know that they do. I've got it up right now. It's from the NFL. Okay.
Oh, he's keeping receipts.
There is literally one person picking the Green Bay Packers.
He's keeping receipts.
One. Does that surprise you?
That don't really surprise me.
Does that surprise you, my friend?
Don't really surprise me. Ooh.
Okay. So you can hear me, right?
Yes. Kind of went out for a little bit, but I got you. We got you now.
Okay. So this is why it's going to – our defense – okay, last year we made the playoffs 7th seed. You know, we beat the number 2 seed, the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
Smoked them in their own barn.
I remember that. I remember it.
And here we are. Okay. We've got a better defense than we did last year. We've got a better defensive coordinator than last year. We've got a better running back than we had last year. We have a better safety core than we had last year. Okay?
That's both things.
Oh, is that me? Okay. I think that is me. It's not. Yeah, it is me. Okay. So, in saying that, the Eagles are loaded with talent. They have a great defense. I think they have a better cornerbacks than we do. If they can get to Jordan Love, we're in big trouble, right? Yeah. Now he can roll out. He can transform and roll out. Okay.
Right.
Here's the thing, though. Jalen Carter. He had 3 assists, 3 tackles for assists. Like the first time we played him. We played him week 1. They beat us by 5-4. And honestly, if we would have had a kicker, we would have won that game. Guess what? We got a kicker now, brother. We got a kicker now. So Hurts is hurt, but he's playing. He's been full participant. Jordan Love's hurt. He's going to play. He's full participant in practice.
Yes, sir.
It sucks losing Jair, and it sucks losing Watson. That's what concerns me the most, is mostly the Jair piece.
Yep.
I think we're going to find a way to make this competitive. I think we're going to make it competitive. Josh Jacobs is a beast. He didn't play very well in the first game. The problem is, and I know you want to talk about this guy, is this guy called Saquon Barkley. He roasted us. 24 carries, 109 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he also had a couple catches and a touchdown. He had a 3-touchdown game. If we can slow down Barkley, we've got a legitimate chance of doing the upset special. Last thing, I want to give it to you. If the Packers, watching this game, guess what? Not just the Packers fans are going to be cheering for us. The Lions fans, not the Eagles fans. It's not going to be the Eagles fans, and the Vikings fans. They're all going to be cheering for us.
Oh yeah.
Our division rivals are cheering for the Packers to win.
Oh yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on this game, my friend? What's your thoughts?
Ooh, you know what? I just had to go to the stats on this one because it is I think it's a matchup that is pretty close, you know. The Green Bay Packers defense, like you said, has been playing much better this season. Green Bay Packers are the 5th ranked defense in the league, top 5. Only giving up 314 yards per game and allowing 39 touchdowns. And they're a top 5 offense. Top 5 in offense and defense. Offense is scoring. They scored 52 touchdowns and they averaged 370 yards per game. Okay, that's a great season for any team. Top 5 in both offense and defense. But then you have the Eagles. You got the Eagles that are the number 1 total defense in the league. Number 1. Only giving up 278 yards per game. and only allowing 33 touchdowns the whole season. Eagles team, they have their ups and downs defensively, but they did rank top 5 in red zone defense. All right. I think red zone defense is one of the best stats. How many touchdowns are you giving up in that red zone? Can you get stops in the red zone? I think that's what it really boils down to, especially in the playoffs. Red zone efficiency. It's a tough one, man. I got my brother over here with the G on, with the G behind him.
You know what? Everybody's picking them. Everybody's picking the Eagles, and I don't discredit anyone. I want to be a realist and pick the Eagles.
So here's my issue, okay? And this is going into my selection. You said we got to stop Saquon.
No, I said we got to slow down Saquon.
We got to slow him down. But
stop him.
The way you slow him down is what? You bring up those safeties. That's usually the only way you can slow down Saquon. You got to bring up the safeties. And when you bring up the safeties, what happens? They got a guy over there named A.J. Brown. They got a guy over there named Devontae Smith. So it's like you pick your poison with the Eagles. Do you want to get beat through the air, or do you want to get beat on the ground? Unless they just start turning the ball over, which happens because Jalen Hurts is known to turn the ball over. I just think if Jalen Hurts is okay, yes, he's been out like the last 3 weeks with a concussion, but he's a full participant this week. If Jalen Hurts is himself, if he's healthy, I gotta pick the Eagles. Man. Yeah,
and I understand.
It hurts me, man. It hurts me because my brother right here with the G on his head.
It's okay.
Gotta pick the Eagles.
I understand. I'm the only guy on the planet that's going to pick an upset special. I'm picking Packers 27, Eagles 24.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going to do. And we're going to shock the world. Just like we did last year against the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to shock the world. I don't know how we're going to do it. We're going to find a way. I think part of it is going to be the turnovers. We're going to win the turnover battle. And somehow we're not going to let Saquon score 3 touchdowns on us. He can have his 1, okay?
That's right.
He might even be able to have 2. All I'm saying is we got a kicker now. We got a decent offense. Yeah. Everyone's just saying, oh, we lost to the Bears. It's over. Listen, we put our backups in. Listen, that doesn't matter. What matters is we're going to find a way.
That's all you got to do in the playoffs, man. Just win. Doesn't matter how you win. Just win, man.
We might even need the refs to help us out a little bit with some. I'm just saying.
Just to let Saquon jump over y'all backwards like he did against the whoever that was, the Jaguars.
Right.
Don't let him do the backward splits on you. Jake says, Jake from State Farm, don't forget about Dallas Goedert, man. Is he back? Because I know he was injured for a while too. So yeah, if Dallas Goedert is in there, he's definitely a weapon too. Primetime Jet, thanks for coming through, chiming in. He says, I'm taking the Rams win and advance to the NFC divisional. Ooh.
Old.
Rams over the Vikes. Okay. Said the Rams holding on to home court. All right. So that's he said Dallas Goedert is back. So that's news for me because I thought he was still out, man.
I mean, last game we played against them, he had 3 catches. Big whooping deal. He never scored. He never do anything. I mean,
but I guess it's just
Tucker Kraft is already a better tight end than him. But I don't know. That's just what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Plus, we got Musgrave back too.
Patty is right. I saw that. But that running game is the only thing that I would say could give the Eagles problem.
It's gonna be tough.
I think Josh Jacobs has been playing like a man possessed this year. He is the heartbeat of that Packers offense. So if he gets going early, and I've seen the Packers games, they always play him on the West Coast. It's like they give Josh Jacobs the ball like 8 straight times every game to start the game.
I know, it's wild.
They just keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. And he just like keeps breaking tackles. So, I mean, if he gets going early, man, I definitely see a scenario where the Packers have a shot. But yeah, they just gotta to me, they have to play almost perfect football. To beat those Eagles the way they're looking with Hurts healthy. It's another ball game if he's not healthy, but if he is healthy, that's going to be a tough win.
I'll give you another couple things. I don't know if Jalen Hurts finishes the game, and it's not because they're in victory formation and putting in the backup. I have a feeling he's going to have some concussion issues. We're going to hit him hard, and he's going to go out. So that changes the whole parameter of game that happens. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the scary part. I said the same thing. What, like the worst timing for an injury like that? Concussion at the end of the season, man. So yeah, got to watch that for sure. Jalen Hurts' health, I think it will determine this game. Absolutely. If he goes out, I don't see a scenario where the Eagles win without Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
Yeah, they need him healthy. All right. So we've already picked our wins here, but upset of the playoffs, upset of the first round. Where did we go? Upset of the first round. I think I went with the Broncos over the Bills. That was my upset.
That's a big one. And obviously my Packers over the Eagles is my big one.
Packers over the Eagles. So those are 2 upsets, you guys, for the first round. Rev Trev taken. Oh, no.
I'm having a hard time with it because everyone's going to say you're just being a homer, right? But I'm like sitting there going, you know what? I think the Eagles are great. I wouldn't be surprised 1 minute if the Eagles beat my Packers.
No. I
just think that everyone's sleeping on us, and they've already counted us out, and we've got a great coach as well.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying it's not. I mean, I feel like it's going to be either close or it's going to be a blowout. And if it's a blowout, we're hooped. Yeah. But if it's close, we win somehow.
Yeah, I mean, 2 battle-tested teams for sure. Yeah, they got 2 good coaches over there. Jordan Love, I mean, technically he's still a young guy, but he has some experience in the playoffs.
Yep.
And you got to remember how last year ended for the Packers. They had the 49ers on the ropes, standing 8 count, man. Standard 8 count.
You're not wrong. We were up. We were leading that game with 1:20 remaining.
They had him on the ropes. They just couldn't get it done. Still young, Jordan Love. He kind of, he made a throw that I'm sure he had nightmares about all summer long, throwing the ball back across his body, across the field when he just could have threw the ball out of bounds. But that's why we play the games. So yeah, Packers got a chance though for sure. So we got Rev Chair picking those Packers over the Eagles, and I'm picking the Broncos over the Bills. And then we got Super Bowl aspirations. What are we thinking ultimately happens? Who makes it to the Super Bowl, in your opinion, Rev Trap?
Yeah, so I think there's multiple teams that can. Listen, I don't want to pick the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'll tell you why. Because, they've won 2 in a row. To get the 3 is going to be tough. I mean, why isn't more people picking the Chiefs? I should pick the Chiefs. But you know why? Because I have picked against Tom Brady for the majority of his career, and I've been wrong and wrong and wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should pick the Chiefs. I should change all my picks and just pick the Chiefs because they find ways. Plus, they get the refs calls, all that kind of stuff. I should pick them. But you know what? I'm going AFC. I'm going the Buffalo Bills to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I have this feeling. that Josh Allen's going to be mad because he's not going to get MVP.
Hey.
And then he's going to be on a tear. And I just have this feeling that it's going to – I don't know. I can see the Ravens going. I can see the Chiefs going. I can see – you know what I mean? But I can't just stop. I have to stop and say, you know what? This got to be the year. It's got to be the year. And then on the other side, I think the NFC is way harder to predict. Everyone's going to pick the Lions. And I'm going to do something wild. I'm going to say the Lions aren't going to make it to the Super Bowl because they've never even made it to the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
And that game, the Vikings played them. You know what was the wrong thing? Darnold was off. He could have had a bunch of – he overthrew guys. I don't know if it was the big moment, the pressure. I don't know what.
Red zone. He was way off.
If he would have scored in the red zone, that would have been a totally different game. I'm going to go bold. I'm going with the Vikings going to the Super Bowl against the Bills.
Oh, the Vikings. Sam Darnold going to start the Super Bowl.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's the thing that's hard because Jared Goff is playing fantastic ball, and he's really good against the blitz. So I want to pick the Lions. I need to pick the Lions. I want to pick the Packers. Don't get me wrong, but if the Packers lose to the Eagles, it's going to change my whole predictions.
Right.
I might even pick the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl.
I do agree. You got 3 teams with over 13 or more wins. Okay. You got 3 teams up there. You've got 2 teams in the same division with 14 or more wins, right? You got the Vikings and you got the Packers. No, Vikings and the Lions, sorry. But the Packers did make the playoffs in the same division as well. I'm sorry, but I think the Sam Darnold feel-good story.
Yeah.
I think that's all it ends up being is a feel-good story. I just can't see Sam Darnold get to the Super Bowl.
You know what? That's a good point. I haven't thought about that through enough. You might be right. I might need to change my pick.
The pressure of that moment in a close game. Okay, I'm not talking about a blowout. I'm talking about once he has to go toe-to-toe with the league's best. Will he hold up under the pressure? And I just don't think it's going to happen. So then that leaves me with the Lions. And that leaves me with Baker Mayfield and the Bucks, possibly. Or that leaves me with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. There's a part of me that wants to do something crazy. But I think I might lose all my subscribers if I pick this team. So
you can't pick your Falcons.
I think it's the Lions year, man. I think it's the Lions year. And I know that it's a popular pick because they're, the top team. It's they got the best record. And of course you pick the Lions, but Dan Campbell, man, that's something. I watched a little clip of him in training camp talking to that team. And I was looking for some football pads to put on. I want to play for this man. Can I hold the water bottle, coach? Can I do something? I just want to be a part of that culture. He has those guys ready to run through brick walls for him.
You're right.
He's not the most eloquent. He's not the most intelligent. But boy, can he motivate some men to play football. Got one of the top offensive coordinators in the league in Ben Johnson. He's probably going to be gone after this season. They got one of the top minds on defense, even though that defense has struggled a little bit. Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator. He's being considered for head coaching positions. He could lose both of his coordinators after this season. Not to say that they're just going to fall off the map, but this could be a completely different team after this year. So this might be like push all the chips in this season right here. You don't know what this team is going to look like after this season. I'm going with the Lions, man. I think they're on a mission. Like you said, Jared Goff is playing out of his mind. I remember when everybody was just saying how bad he was and how he was a choke artist on the Rams. And when they got whooped by the Patriots in the Super Bowl, how it was embarrassing. And it just kind of left a stain on his career. Then he gets traded for Matt Stafford. Then Matt Stafford wins in LA. Then everybody's laughing because Detroit got Goff. But they ain't laughing now. I'm taking them Lions. And then on the other side, I will not ever pick against Patrick Mahomes. Ever. I picked against the Chiefs 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds of the playoffs last season because they did not have home field advantage. I said, you know what? They're not going to win. And he proved me wrong every freaking time. I learned my lesson, Pat. You are the best quarterback of this generation. And until I see him lose
that's wise
on this streak, I'm going to keep picking them to win. I'm taking Chiefs versus the Lions to meet up in the Super Bowl. I think those have been the 2 best teams in the league all season.
You're right.
And I want to see the 2 best teams in the league battle it out in February.
I would, if the Packers don't make it, I think that's the one I'm thinking I want to see. So
Jake from State Farm agrees. Oh no, he does not agree. He wants the Eagles versus Chiefs. Well, he's an Eagles fan, so I understand. Eagles versus Chiefs rematch. That would be a good one too. But I really want to see the Lions, and hopefully they get Aiden Hutchinson back.
Because if they get Aiden Hutchinson back, I'm telling you right now, they're winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, come on, man.
Okay, here's the crazy thing about Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
I don't remember what week he went out, but he's still leading the team in sacks by 4.
I heard that stat too. That was Sunday night. I heard it, man. He's still leading the team in sacks.
So do you think the Chiefs win the Super Bowl 3-peat?
I will not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
All right. You're a smart man.
I will not bet against Patrick
I know
Mahomes.
I shouldn't be picking against him. What am I doing picking against them? But you guys got to be bold sometimes.
Yeah. But nah, man, we had a great time as always, Rev Trev.
But think about this though. Just one last thing.
Oh yeah.
My Super Bowl prediction's way better than yours, and this way, the storyline's better. Okay. 2 teams that have made the Super Bowl 4 times, both have never won.
Okay.
That means somebody's going to win their very first Super Bowl.
I love that.
Yours is great too, because it's like, is this going to be the dynasty and the 3-peat? Or is it the team that's never made the Super Bowl? It's their year. And if the Lions win, it's going to be one of the greatest wins in NFL history. Right? You took out Mahomes. You did the whole thing. So right. I guess from both sides, it's amazing. What about the third option that we aren't not talking about? And it's the Ravens versus the Eagles. That would be a great Super Bowl as well.
I think that would be a great Super Bowl as well. If there is a team, in my opinion, that could beat the Chiefs, I got my eye on the Ravens.
Yeah.
With their running attack, but with Lamar's, arm, the way he's been playing this season, they could be the team to not even let Patrick Mahomes go to the Super Bowl. They could be the team, man.
But this year, they lost in, was it week 1? The Chiefs beat the Ravens in week 1 or week 2?
Yeah, it was one of those early weeks. Yeah. But that was it came down to the wire. If Isaiah Likely's toe, if he wore a size 11 instead of a size 12, if he wore a size 11 instead of a size 12, that was a touchdown. They were going to tie that game up and go to overtime. And I truly believe Baltimore had all the momentum at that point, and they, I mean, if we're fifth, you know what I'm saying? We don't know, but they could have possibly got that win, but they lost by the smallest of margins. In week 1, it was 1 or 2. You're right. I think might have been 1. But I think they're a much better team than they were week 1. But I also think Kansas City is a better team as well. They've made some moves, brought in DeAndre Hopkins. They got Hollywood Brown back. Isaiah Pacheco was out with injury. He's back. They added, who did they add? Kareem Hunt. They got him back because Pacheco went out. So now they have like a 2-headed monster back there. They're a better team. They're a better team than they were week 1 and even better than they were week 8. So that team was 15-2. Are you kidding me?
Right.
And they were 15-1, and they sat all their starters. So they could have easily been 16-1.
Yeah, they're going to be rested.
Well rested, man. And they're a team that has been there, done that. They know what it takes. I'm just looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great year for the playoffs in the NFL, man. You got anything else for Trev before we get out of here, man?
No, I mean, this one's real hard. So I know that, I don't think the wild card weekend is hard. I think the Super Bowl predictions, that's the hard one. There's probably 6 great teams out there. We're making some bold predictions, and I'm loving it. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate you. I want to give everyone to say, you guys got to hit the like and subscribe for my buddy, LettucePreey, Mr. Baker. And people have probably been wondering why I got this. This is my fantasy football championship, buddy.
Oh, he didn't want to rub it in.
5 championships in our. See, I'm the number 1 of all time owner in that league. I'm pumped. So if you've been watching what the bling is all about, that's why. I just got it today. My Jordan Love jersey came in today.
Oh,
my second Jordan Love jersey came in today.
My
McKinney jersey came in today. So
he's fresh.
Life's good.
He's fresh. You know what? I was like, that's a nice ring. And he is showing it a lot. Like, I wanted to ask. But...
I normally do this. Like it's just, and then I didn't realize I'm like, I'm flashing the bling here, But this thing is beautiful. This thing is absolutely beautiful.
No, it is, man. I ain't never seen a fantasy football championship ring like that, man.
I've got a few.
Whoa, that is nice, brother.
I've got 5 of them.
Wow.
Right? Here's another one.
Oh man. I wouldn't say I would join that league and dethrone you, but man, that looks nice. I want one of those.
They are, you can get them on Amazon for like $30 to $40. Yeah. 20 to $40. They get shipped to your door. So anytime I win a championship, I just buy one. If the league doesn't buy it for me, I just buy it. I spend my money on stupid stuff all the time.
Oh man, you ain't gotta tell me, man. But hey, we work hard, so we get to play hard too.
Right.
That's what it's about, man. Have fun, enjoy life, give glory to God, and enjoy every moment, man. Enjoy every moment, one day at a time. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, man. It's been your boy LettucePreey and Rev Trev NFL with your NFL preview for the playoffs this season. You heard the predictions. Please share the stream with your fellow sports fans, with your family. Let's get these views up And thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everybody that came in the chat and dialogue with us. We appreciate you. You could have been anywhere else, but decided to come here and hang out with us. And I know it's kind of late because your boy's about to get in bed right after this, like for real. And I know Rev Trev got things to do, man. As I always end every episode, tell those that you love them while you can. Have a blessed and a prosperous rest of your Thursday evening. Let's get ready for some football Saturday morning. Peace, y'all. We out of here. Peace.
Go Pack, go.